Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm joined with Mark and potentially his wife in the background. Um, and we are the Price Variants, and we are going to discuss the hottest Silver Age comics of the week. This week, I actually found a bunch that I thought were really kind of cool books. I think mostly on my list, but some pretty cool ones on Mark's list as well. Um, it was not intentional. I wasn't trying to like, oh, I'll put all the cool books on
No.
my channel, and then all the lame books on Mark's channel. I didn't mean to do that. It was just how it worked out. Um, but there's cool books on his channel too. So it's a cool list. You gotta check it. You gotta watch, see all the video, the whole thing because there is a few really interesting ones. Yeah. So Mark, let's see what's first on the list.
Well, I've never seen this one before. It's Madhouse volume 2, number 3.
Yeah, so strangely, I've seen Madhouse before, and
This is
Madhouse,
this isn't Archie Madhouse, is
it's
he?
not Archie Madhouse. So Madhouse, whenever I think of Madhouse, I think of Sabrina because that's where she came from. But when I was looking to buy Sabrina, to buy that book, I found a few copies of this one. Oh, I can't see it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we're going to have to be careful with Heritage has been playing up.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, it's not showing the pictures very well, so I can't play around with Heritage, otherwise we'll lose it. There we go.
Okay. But yeah, this is from Ajax. And it's I think it's like kind of a parody magazine comic would be the best way to describe it. Um and yeah, it sold for $216. I forgot what the grade was, but
So have I.
I think it was like a 6.
It was a 7.
No, was it a 7?
It was a 7. So it's the highest graded. It's the highest graded copy.
And how did it perform?
Well, it's going to be a. I bet there isn't another one. I bet this is another
No, it
Alan.
looks like there was another sale sometime. Now
Uh,
it's now it's Go Collect that's giving us the issue here. What's going on here? Where are your little dots, Go Collect?
Go Collect is not putting any dots on the chart. We're having a good day so far.
It's a good start for the day. Um, let's see if we can get it to load properly. You got to pay your
There we
internet
go.
bill.
There we go.
That's yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so it's way down.
Yes,
What was the previous record for
the
this?
previous record was, well, the only other sale was in 2020, when it sold for $720. So
Wow.
it's lost $500 over 5 years.
Wow. Wow. I think it's just one of those books that like, probably back then nobody knew it and they just thought it was like top of the census, something cool, probably, get a little bidding war
Yeah.
and still people know nobody knows this book. Not such interest this time. Um, usually top of the census you get a bit more value. I
Yeah,
actually thought this
exactly.
was a
Yeah.
high number.
Yeah. Highest graded copy going for 200 and something dollars.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I never heard like I really don't know this comic that well, but I would have expected uh the number like the $200 one to be actually a high number because it
Yeah,
is such an obscure number.
there's the 2020
Original.
value. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny though. Oh well. So sometimes buying top of the census is not such a good idea
No.
if it's not something that is desired.
Right. Okay. On to comic number 2, and it is
Hmm.
Astro Boy number
I
one.
put this on the list because of you and because of Steven.
Yeah, that's right. Although you have this, I know you have this.
I do have it. but I put it on because of you guys, and you guys recently did a little deal
Yes.
with.
So Astro Boy is effectively the first manga character in Japan. And Astro Boy was very prevalent in Japan as one of the first manga comics in the 50s and 60s. Um, and was didn't come across to America until much, much later. That only two Astro Boy comics were basically produced in America, and they were both unofficial. So they were
Mhm.
not approved by the original artist or production people in Japan.
So this one even wasn't approved?
No, no, neither of them were.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this one is Astro Boy number, this is the first one, Astro
Hmm.
Boy number one, 1965, Gold Key. And it is a pricey comic because it is it's the first US produced
Appearance.
Astro Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is a second one, which was there's a little set of promotional comics, so they're quite small, they're sort of about this size, and it's
Hmm.
called March of Comics, and they ran for a long time from 1950s, I think, right through to the late 70s. And basically, if you were a shoe company, a shoe store, you'd get these little comics. And there will be a blank area where they could print in the
Print your name of your shoe
name of the
place.
shoe store. And they ran for a long, long time. And anyway, I was at an auction last year and I picked up about 30 or 40 of these little March of Comics ones. You know, they've got
Hmm.
Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny and
Yeah. Just sort of
Ed,
kids comics basically so that
Ed
they
the
parents
Talking
could get them
Horse
into the
and
store.
all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff like that. Anyway, I get them. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them. I'm just putting them up on,
What's not or
On eBay just to see if anybody else
eBay.
is selling them. And one of the little comics is a Astro Boy. So I
Hmm.
typed the Astro Boy thing in, and they've all been coming up and being worth, 5 to 10 quid. And I put the Astro Boy in, and the only one I could find was at my comic shop, and it was selling for about 300, $400.
Hmm.
What? What?
Yeah.
And indeed, it is the second appearance of Astro Boy,
Hmm.
and there were only two.
Yeah,
Um,
there's only two
but, yeah,
appearances. Yeah.
but it is actually much, much, much rarer than this Gold Key comic. There are
Yeah.
actually only 7 or 8 on the census.
And it goes for about double
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, yeah. So I paid about £4 or £5 for it. So I cleaned and pressed it, and I sent it off to CGC, and it came back a 7.0, which I think was the second highest on the census.
yeah, it's a rare book.
And I did a video when it came back from CGC, and I was showing the comics, and I said, these ones are for keeping, and these ones are for selling. And amongst the selling ones, I had the Astro Boy. I said, I'm probably going to send this to Heritage, but if anybody wants to make me an offer, let me know. Well, Mr. Gentner watched the video, and
Steven is like he's like right on it, if there's a sense of a comic, disturbance in the force, he will be on it. Yeah.
so he contacted me and said, Mark, how much do you want for that? So we agreed a price. I did him a good price actually. And
Hmm.
yeah, so that I got a very good return on my 5 quid plus
Yeah.
40 quid for slabbing. I think I got about 10 to 1 return.
Yeah, it's great. And
Yeah,
he still got a great deal, actually.
he
That's
did.
the funny.
If I'd sent it off to Heritage, I would have wanted to have got $600 or $700, I think. But then I'd have
Hmm.
to have paid all the fees and everything.
Yeah, it works out for both of you, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and I'm quite, as I said to Stephen, I'm very proud to have one of my auction finds in his collection because it is
Yeah,
one of the
very
best
cool.
collections in the world, I think.
One of one
One
of
of them, I know.
It's joking. His collection's probably better than mine, but yeah. But we're competing.
I
Okay.
know, I know. Right, so there
Yeah.
you go. That's my Astro Boy story. This one, $276 for a 5.0.
It seems a little low, actually,
I think
strangely.
low, yeah. So if you see these little promotional comics, don't immediately dismiss them. Have a little look through them, and if the Astro Boy one is there, uh,
Definitely grab it.
I hate.
Yeah, so actually this
Actually,
is
it's
up.
a record.
A new record. Astro Boy sets a new record. Maybe us talking about it all the time, since Stephen got that book and he showed it a few times on my channel, maybe it just created a
You never
excitement
know.
in the
Well,
market.
you never know, Alan, do you? I mean, it only takes
Yeah,
one person to be watching us going, I want that.
yeah, that seems cool.
And I'll tell
Um,
you, I think these are good investments because
oh,
manga is not going away, is it?
it's actually more popular than comics,
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So this
and
is
this is like
effectively the first US
manga in the US.
Astro Boy in comic in the US. So I think this is a good investment at that price.
I think this is actually the first manga comic in the
Oh, is it?
US as well.
I don't know that.
As well. It's both Astro Boy and, you know, so it's doubly like kind of a key book.
Yeah, so this was July 31st, 65, and I think the March of Comics one is just a couple of months after this.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the census too, I mean, it's not a big census. It's like 140 on the census.
141, yeah. Yeah, so it's actually quite rare anyway, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely a very cool comic.
Nice
What was the,
cover as well.
yeah, what's the previous sale? Like how much has it gone up?
It's gone up a lot. So the previous sale was 120, 128.
Wow. So this is almost double. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was quite a long time ago. So that was in 2018. So it's 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, there's been a lot of things that happened in those 7 years. But okay.
Yeah, but what's interesting here, Alan, is if you compare this to the previous one, which had gone down by $500 over 5 years,
Hmm.
compared to this one, the difference is that the other one nobody has ever heard of it and is unlikely to ever hear of it.
Hmm.
Whereas this one, if anything, is going to go up further as time goes.
Yeah, I think this is a good long-term investment personally, just because of the popularity of animation.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, uh, yeah, just a really cool one. I makes me feel like I should really get my copy graded. I bought mine from my comic shop,
yeah.
and it's a very nice presenting.
I think I saw it when you originally got. I think you got it 2 or 3 years ago, and I think I saw you
Yeah,
showed it when you got it.
yeah.
It did look like a nice copy.
Yeah, so I think it might grade out, like probably grade out at a 4 or 4.5 would be
Yeah,
my guess.
yeah,
But even though my comic shop rated it as a 3.5 or something like that,
yeah,
they
yeah,
always
yeah,
they always undergrade. It's great.
yeah. Okay.
So
So from Astro Boy, who can follow Astro Boy? Has to be Barbie.
yeah, this is one of those ones that I think it's just such a another cool underrated book.
This is
Um,
really nice. This,
this is the first appearance of Barbie in comics.
yeah, 1962. Now, Alan,
Hmm.
no,
I have this actually, but
do you?
yes.
I'm very jealous. I quite like this. Do you know what year Barbie was first created?
Okay, so I actually have a family story about Barbie, believe it or not.
Okay.
Probably this is a story that's told by many women, like older women but I think it was either my grandmother or I think it was my grandmother. Um, she was really good at arts and crafts, and so she'd make little costumes for like dolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was actually approached by a company to market that, and she's like, ah, no, 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 she didn't want to bother with it, she just didn't think it was anything. But then later, like Barbie came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was in the 50s
Yes.
that
Well,
she,
Barbie has got the same birthday as me. She is the same
yeah,
age as me. She was
1953.
what? 59. How dare you?
Okay, I made you older, sorry. 59, sorry.
59. Yeah. So yeah. So yes, Barbie and me have got the same over the same age.
Hmm.
She's worn better than me.
Yeah, yeah, she's got a better body than you. Sorry,
Well, thank you. Uh,
but she's plastic, so
this is
you're
true.
all natural. So,
Yeah, this is true. Anyway, so this is a great one. A 3.5 for $312. Again, I don't think this one is going away. Barbie's still around.
and
Very
like
popular.
this, the interesting thing about this is there hasn't been really that many sales of this book since the Barbie movie, and that Barbie movie was a major hit.
Yeah, it did very well. Yeah,
So, to me, it's another reason why I think this is a great book. And actually, probably based on the success of that movie, I could see them making a sequel in the future.
sure. And let's see, look how many are on the. Oh goodness, there's only 42 on the census, Alan.
It's a rare book. It's not easy to get. I think mine's a 5.0, believe it or not.
Right. Well, it says here 5.0 is worth $325.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, but this was a 3.5.
yeah, 3.5, 180. Did it just sell for 300? I think we might have a second record in a row.
This is another record, I think.
Come on, go collect, do your stuff.
Do your dots. So yeah, so very
Oh, there you go. It is a record.
yeah,
Mind you, there's only three of this one. So the last one sold in 2017 for
okay.
$200, and this has just sold for 312. So it's a record again. That's two records in a row, Alan.
I know, market is turning around.
On
Uh,
comics like Astro Boy and Barbie and Ken.
but these are like I'm not in a way, these books are kind of like in a similar theme of iconic characters.
They are, yes.
Like people know these characters. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
even the younger generation
Yes,
would
no,
know these
Barbie's not
characters.
going away. Barbie, the
Yeah,
current generation, no Barbie.
yeah,
So she's got at least another 30, 40 years life.
yeah. But this is a very nice, this one has a pretty nice increase.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah. So
and
I think that what their fair market value for a 5.0 probably is a little bit off. It's probably higher than that.
I bet there's a number of these sat in people's attics. You know,
Mm. No, this like I say this about girls all the time. They're horrible, horrible for comics. They destroy comics. The mothers destroy them, but little girls destroy comics too. They just have no respect. They just
um,
rip them apart. They cut them up. They do
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
So I
So
don't know how many of these survive, to tell you the truth.
not well by the look of it, not many.
Hmm.
So I bought a whole load of Barbie comics. Not from this era, but I think they did a run of Barbie and Barbie
Oh, with Amanda Connor.
with Amanda Connor, uh,
Oh my goodness, those are awesome.
2020.
Really underrated.
Well, and they're quite pricey now. When I
Okay,
say
those
quite
books are
pricey, I
amazing.
mean, they're a tenner each.
No, they can go for more than that,
Can
but
they? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, so I bought a whole, it was an auction and
Jack.
it's about 40 of the things. And I just thought, okay, yeah.
No, they're great. They're really beautiful. Like they do all these kind of what's it called? Negative space things where they
Yes. Yeah. There's some negative
or
space.
patterned
Yeah.
like things. Really cool. I really like those Barbie covers actually. They're quite good.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not sure about the stories. I didn't bother reading
no,
the
I didn't
stories.
read any.
but
I quite like the
I
cover.
like the covers. The covers
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So don't turn your nose up at Barbie and don't turn your nose up at
Astro
Astro
Boy.
Boy or little promotional comics. Okay.
Hmm.
Can we go for three in a row? We have had three in a row once this year, but are we going to do it
It
again?
was on your channel.
It was.
Now this is totally different. I actually like this cover, believe it or not,
I like this cover. I like this cover.
but it's not a great cover for what it is. It's
No.
one of those ones you see it and you wouldn't know what it is.
Some
But
people
this
don't
is
know what it is. You can get this cheap because occasionally people don't know what this is.
yeah, exactly. But this is Hawkman for first appearance of Zatanna. I love Zatanna as a character. I just
Yeah,
love the character design. I like the character's powers. I just think she's a cool character.
yeah,
So whenever I see this book, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is a cool book.
yes. I got mine cheap because I don't think anybody knew what it was. They just thought it was
Mhm.
Hawkman.
Another Hawkman, and it's not even like a it's a low number of Hawkman, but it's not like
No, it's not
anything that
quite full,
looks obvious.
is it? It's number four, so
Hmm.
yeah. I think I picked mine up for about 50 quid, and it's in nice mid grade, so
Okay,
quite happy with that.
that's a very good price.
So let's see how this is done, Alan. Are we going to get three in a row? I doubt it because
I doubt it with this one.
I
This one's
suspect I suspect this had some COVID sales, and there will be.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I was thinking, I remember this book being on a few hot lists during COVID, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Um,
is it back to normal, or is it trying to find its bottom?
ooh, I mean, it's around pre-COVID, isn't it?
Okay.
Pre-COVID was 720, and it's 720. So it's
And what was COVID like? Just to give people a
COVID.
sense of how crazy this book went.
Um, 2,390.
Wow, it's
So
always
it's a
sad.
third.
So
It's a third of its maximum value. It's lost
you
60.
know, whenever I see those COVID numbers and it's like a massive spike, right? It always gives me like hope that, people, it wasn't that long ago that we were in that situation. I think people will, do that again. I really do think we'll have those prices again. Because if people were willing to pay for that in the past, I'm sure that they'd be willing to do it again.
Maybe I know what you mean, but I don't think it's
Mhm.
going to be for some time.
Yeah, yeah, we need a little bit more time.
Yeah. There's only 1,800 of these, Alan. Oh, well, I suppose for DC, that's actually
DC, that's
quite
quite high,
high.
actually. That's a high number. And but that is because it is a key. It's
Yes.
probably one of those books you find in the raw
Yeah.
and you go, "Oh wow, I'm gonna get this graded. Now it's worth something."
Yeah. 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 So nice one. I do like that comic.
Hmm.
Okay, so we didn't quite get three in a row.
Is
Next
that
up,
our five or is that
no,
one
we've got
more?
one more. Captain America.
Okay. And can you think of the reason why I put this on the list?
Is it because there's a film out?
Yeah. And the film is doing exceptionally mediocre. Um, so
I'm not sure exceptionally media. I think that's an onomatopoeia.
I just like I was trying to build like suspense when I said the mediocre part. But yeah, this one has been not it hasn't been the greatest of releases, I guess would be the best way to say it.
Have you
The
seen it?
movie no, no, no. I'll wait for it to come out on video basically.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I just don't I don't know. I just don't think there's anything there. And I heard so many like the production hell that it went through, that it's so many reshoots that I'm not super keen to see how like the Frankenstein's monster version of the movie came out. Um, but this one's also an autographed one. So this is 840 for an autographed Captain America 117, I believe is the issue number.
Okay. Here
Okay,
we
it's
go.
slightly down.
This is the signature series 7.5, slightly down. Yeah, not much. Was it that down on COVID? No, that peak there actually was March last year. So yeah, slightly.
Probably around like first trailer. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah, maybe.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's probably like, people got excited. Like I don't know why they got excited, but um, then and then this book came out. So this shows you that when a movie isn't successful, it does kind of hurt the comic. I bet you it's actually going to go down further,
I think it'll go down further as well.
which is sad. It's still, Falcon's a. I don't even mind the actor. I think he's a good actor. I think
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I
and
think
I just wish he stayed as the Falcon rather than this Captain American. I just wish he, uh,
he,
you know, because it was like he was still like one of the comments that I heard about the movie, and I think this is probably true, and this is true when the TV series happened. He was still playing the Falcon, even though they were trying to rebrand him as Captain America. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that never works. Just be the character you're meant to be, you know? Um, so yeah, I think yeah, it's probably going to go down further.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy this at the moment.
What's the census on this one? I imagine it's quite high.
I think this is quite high because it's been a well-known first appearance for quite a long time. Yeah, 4,000,
Yeah, that's pretty
4,000.
high census.
Yeah,
I mean, that just goes to show, like both this one and the DC one are ones that people know. They're
yeah,
not necessarily ones in the run that people would say, "Oh, I got to pick out this book," but because they know it's a key, they have saved them. They have, gotten them graded. It just shows you the number of Marvel versus DC. You know, it's about twice as many for
yeah.
these kind of obscure keys.
And this is a nice cover. I do actually like the cover on
I
this.
actually like the cover. I actually think this is a great first appearance cover.
Yes, I do. I mean, it's got him on the cover. It's got Red Eye, is that the name of his eagle? Uh,
Yeah.
and he's got
Uh,
a cap in the foreground. I think it's a good cover.
is it Red Eye or Red Wing?
Red Wing, Red Wing, Red
Yeah,
Wing.
Red Wing.
Yeah,
And then yeah, you got Cap in the four. I think they like that as a framing technique where you have the like some character in that like
yeah,
just sort of cut off, but in that corner.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's I just think yeah, it's an underrated book, but it's going to continue to be an underrated book until they make a good movie with him. Um, so yeah, so that's the first five on this list. We got five more to go. Some pretty cool ones on Mark's channel. There is a bit of a theme, a little bit of a theme. It's a very small theme on Mark's channel that I think we might see some more records. So let's go over to Mark's channel and check it out.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.